shake the matrix, expand our minds, and make us all think. How is everybody doing this wonderful grand morning? Give me just a sec. I'm going to get myself a nice water because I'm thirsty. All right, there we go. Well, let's hopefully everybody comes along this morning. I know that we have missed a day, and I apologize, but it was New Year's, and so I needed to rest and get this body in order. But if it's morning, grand risings. If it's afternoon, good afternoon. And if it's evening when you're watching this, good evening. We've got a good one to talk about this morning. Do we ever? And I know you're going to enjoy this, so sit back and get yourselves ready. Thank you for joining us. So, we're going to talk about death, the matrix, and the remembrance of the original design. So, first of all, let's start with this morning with you guys. Just take a deep breath with me. In and out. Let yourself arrive. This morning is not about belief. It's not about ancient text, futuristic theories, or proving anything to anyone. Because I'm never really about that anyway. But it's about the one moment almost every human avoids. See, imagine you're alone in bed. You're lying there in bed and lights are off and the ceiling silently is staring back at you. And the thoughts rises, uninvited thoughts. What if I don't wake up tomorrow? See, most people push that thought away as fast as possible. We distract ourselves. We scroll, we sedate, and we even pray, maybe even meditate. But this morning, we're not running. We're going to look at this. We're going right there, actually. And no, not to scare you, to free you. Because the fear you feel in that moment is not fear or death, by the way. It's fear of ego, disillusion. And those are very different things. See, the first illusion, the unknown, we're taught to fear death, right? As the great unknown. And you might be thinking, like, why does Ariel get to sit here and talk about that? Well, I'm known for going into hospice. I'm known for returning to the point my own children didn't recognize me. And I'm known and witnessed. And I've got 3 books about this. And I took the time to experience it, I guess, to come and tell you. And I took the time to see that my experience matched philosophy, science, ancient texts, gnosis, and so on and so on. So, ask yourself this something honestly, okay? Was being unborn scary? I mean, before your first breath, before memory, identity, language. I mean, was there terror? Or was there just simply nothing to remember? Because it was before. See, psychology tells us that the brain cannot imagine non-existence. It replaces the unknown with story. You know, so when you imagine death, the mind creates a horror movie. Endless darkness, emptiness, abandonment. But that movie has a director now. Huh. Now who's the director? Hi, how's it going, Joshua? How's it going, Josette? See, and that director is the ego, by the way. See, the fear is not death itself. The fear is that character you're playing, and it cannot come with you. So it's kind of going, whoa, hang on a second. Now watch carefully. If you can observe the fear, if you can notice the thoughts, if you can witness the narrator, who is watching the narrator? See, that question alone, it cracks the first layer of the matrix, by the way. The empty space experiment, they called it. So let's do something together for a moment, okay? Close your eyes with me. Or just listen, it's up to you. But imagine yourself laying down, right? And your body is heavy, breathing slowly, and you gently ask the question, what if this is it? What if I go to sleep and never wake up? No, don't push that thought away. Let it rise. And notice what happens. See, for most people, panic spikes. The heart tightens. The mind scrambles and for certainty. But just stay. Push a little further. Notice something subtle. Yeah, there's fear, but there's also awareness. The awareness of the fear. See, fear is actually an experience. Awareness is not afraid. The awareness, noticing fear, does not tremble. It simply is. See, that awareness has been with you your entire life. And we've been taught to ignore it. Before your first memory, through every loss, through every transformation. See, that awareness does not come and go. This is your first direct experience of what cannot die. See, when I was in hospice, I didn't learn this from theory. I got to experience this. Hey, how's it going? I learned it when my body was beginning to shut down. And that's an experience in itself. See, hospice strips life down to its essentials. There's no pretending. There's no spiritual bypassing either. No future plans to hide inside. I had paid for my own funeral. Got rid of everything I had. I wasn't fighting, I was letting go. And then something happened that dismantled every single thing within me. Everything I had been taught. You see, there was no blackness, no judgment, no waiting room. There was presence. There was no me. The way I had known it. No Ariel, no body. Just pure awareness, pure connection. Not floating somewhere, just wherever, but everything, everywhere, all at once. I wasn't meeting God at something separate. I was remembering what I am actually means. And from that space, I saw this life clearly. A holographic learning environment. Assimilation, not of punishment, but of forgetting and remembering. The body is an avatar. This isn't even who we are. The ego is a character. Awareness is a player. Death didn't end me. It stripped a costume. Don't mind my sniffling. We had rain, and every time it rains out in the desert, the ragweed and all that kind of stuff just gets to me and I get the sniffles. So, the life of nature. But see, death didn't end me, you guys. It basically stripped the masks and the costumes. Not basically, it did. It ripped me down to the pieces and shreds of nothing. Absolutely nothing, when I realized that I was nothing more than a cup of water that put all these different identities on it, and the whole time I was part of the ocean. I was the ocean. I was somebody that sat in rejection, looking for identity, looking for love, looking for who the heck I belonged to. But I already belonged. Hospice wasn't the first time or the last. There have been moments doctors don't like to even talk about. Moments where my heart stopped, where friends watched my color drain, where grief began forming before their eyes. And each time, I slipped into the same vastness, creation itself, realms beyond forms, thunder, lightning, the ancient ones. No gods, not gods in religious sense, but intelligence of origin. I've seen the lion. I've stood where archetypes are born, and then I sat up, laughing, unmarked over the cliff, 20 feet down. Impact that have shattered me, a medic checking, and my pulse, nothing. Friends panicking even. Yet I was elsewhere, not watching the scene, but inside totally. Aware of wings, aware of the universe, aware of creation seeing itself through these eyes, and then snap. Next thing I know, I'm walking back to a fire, and I look and I take a stroll. No limp, no bruises, no damage. Every return changed me. Every return I would see the universe, the galactic shift of unbelief that we were energy. And energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Every return softened, made me softer, clearer, less attached. Death didn't push me or pursue me. It kept removing what I wasn't. Death is not something to fear. This is where people think spirituality leaves science behind, but that's outdated. Physics now tell us that matter is mostly empty space. Particles behave differently when observed, and the universe operates more like information than solid substance. Neuroscience tells us that self is not fixed location. Identity is a process. Awareness exists prior to thought. Psychology tells us fear collapses perception and safety expands awareness, and ego is survival, adaptation, not your essence. Energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. Hey, you guys can go troll somebody else. I don't even know what that stuff means. But anyways, energy cannot be transformed. Just transform. That's what transitioning is about. So why would consciousness, the most fundamental aspects of reality, suddenly vanish? See, science isn't disproving spirituality. It's dismantling materialism. Matrix. Now let's talk about the Matrix experiences. See, many NDEers report seeing pods, machines, grids, harvesting systems. And the conclusion is often we are trapped. But I want you to look a little closer. See, the pod is identification. The cable is attention. The machine is belief looping through fear. The matrix isn't outside of you. It's the psychological and perceptual structure that rewards separation, scarcity, and obedience. And you don't unplug by leaving the body. You unplug by inhabiting it without confusion. That's why return to Eden matters. Eden is not an escape. Eden is remembrance inside form. And Gnosis, original warning. The Gnosis were clear. See, the problem was never creation. It was mistaken identity. The demerged mindset, the shadow matrix, is consciousness believing it is separate, limited, and in need of control. See, heaven and hell were never locations. They are states of awareness. Christ was not worship material. Christ was blueprint, your original blueprint. It was design. Resurrection was not about flesh. It was about waking from spiritual amnesia a while alive. See, nature never left Eden. Watch nature. It's amazing. Leaves fall, bodies decay, seeds sprout. So where's death? Nature doesn't cling, you guys. Doesn't mourn transition. Doesn't hoard identity. Only humans are terrified of losing the character. It invented death as an enemy. But the forest teaches us effortlessly nothing ends. everything changes. Eden was never lost. We stopped seeing it. Practice is bringing it home now. Let's bring it home. You guys ready? So this teaching is useless if it says intellectual. So here's how you live it. Sit with death. Ask at night, what if I don't wake up? Watch fear rise and ask, who is watching fear? Before birth, inquire, ask yourself, what was I before my first memory? Let the mind fall, and rest there with it. Look into your mirror and look into your eyes and say, I am not separate. Feel the nervous system notice. Nature is grounding. So hold a dead leaf, touch new growth, ask where did life go? See, death, that already happened. Jobs, relationships, identities. Notice, you survived everyone. Every peeled illusion, each returned you closer to Eden. So why does this matter now? Because a world afraid of death is controllable. A world that remembers eternity cannot be ruled through fear. This is why awakening accelerates us now. Not because the world is ending, but because the illusion is thinning. I returned every time because this needed to be mirrored. Not worshipped, not followed, remembered. You are not chrysalis. You are not an avatar. You are not the scared voice narrating survival. You are the awareness watching the entire game. The eye of the storm. The unique puzzle piece, part of the ultimate puzzle of the cosmos. And this morning, remember. And when you go to bed tonight, when you sleep, don't demand certainty. Just ask softly. Whoever wakes, let me remember I am. Death dissolves, Eden returns, and the illusion collapses quietly. See? We have more freedom than we think. Well, welcome everybody, and if you got any questions, please feel free to ask. Outside of that, you guys, we will see you guys Monday. So make sure you recognize that you're valuable and you matter. You're all unique puzzle pieces, a part of the ultimate puzzle of the cosmos. And do one thing towards your dreams every single day. Look at that, I mixed it up this time. Well, peace and love. We'll see you guys next time, and we'll be live on TikTok at 9 a.m. So if you missed this, you can go on over there if you're not, or you can watch, under the lives is all the other lives. Take care.